So greetings everyone. So I will be presenting on our project for the Smart Library Management System. So first of all, let's compile our code first. It's gonna take a while. So now we have initialized our Smart Library Management System. So now let's first introduce our first feature as guest. So as guest, as stated in the rubric, is only has access to viewing books and search for books. So let's view all books first. So this is all the books that are presented in the library. So for the search features, we have 3 ways to do so. So it's by title, author, and genre. So let's try to by title. Let's try to search for 1984. There you go. You can search for that by title. So let's try also by author. Let's go for Robert Martin. So as you can see, it's available. So let's again search by genre. Let's say fantasy. So as you can see here, these books are in the fantasy genre. So it's presented here. So let's guess. So let's try to go to member. So member, for the details of the member is with us. So let's use one of our test members. So these are all the features that we have in the member dashboard. So we have search, borrow, return, and etc. So for the search features, it's the same as the guest. So let's view all books. So also can search by title, author, and genre as how we've seen before. Say the Hobbit. There you go, it's there. So now if you want to borrow a book, you just go to number 2 and enter the book ID. Say I want to borrow 101, which is the Harry Potter book. So now the book has been borrowed. So I can also return the book by using number 3. So enter the book ID that you borrowed. So now book has been successfully. So again, for our simulation, let's just borrow the same book, and let's go to a different member. Say I want to enter as a different member. So I'm now Sweetino. So I want to borrow a book. Can also borrow, let's say 1004. So now student 04. So now let's go to view all books. As you can see here, 2 books has been borrowed. Okay, so you can also view your borrowed books. There you go, you are borrowing Kill a Mockingbird. So you can also view your fines just in case you have any outstanding fines. So right now we don't have any. So let's say for the reserve feature, as you can see here, there's a book that I want to borrow. Say Sitino wants to borrow the Harry Potter book, but Harry Potter book is borrowed by the previous user. So let's say I want to enter same book. So book reservation has been added. So you have used the reserve book feature to reserve the book 1001. So now you're in position in queue number 1. So let's log out. Okay, let's log out. Let's try a different user. Let's say I am now John Tan. So I want to borrow a book, and let's say I want to borrow the same book, the Harry Potter book. It will notify you that the book is currently borrowed. So if you want to, they will ask you if you want to join the reservation queue. Just press yes, and now you are added to the queue, and you are in position 2 because number 1 was the previous user, which was, I don't remember the name, but yeah. So yeah, Sitino. So Sitino was the number 1 for the book, and the one currently borrowing was the first user. So now if you want to cancel, you can first view your reservations. So you are now number 2. So say that you want to cancel your reservations. Go number 8, enter the book that you reserve. Now the book ID has been cancelled. So now let's log out. So that's the features for guests and members. So let's take a look at the feature for librarian. So password will be this one. So there are loads and loads of features here in the library control panel. So for the book management, it's just the simple stuff. First is we display all the books. So these are all the books that we have here. We can also search for books, and this searching is just the same as what we've seen before. So let's say I want to search 1984. There you go. You can search it here. So in this library control panel, you can also add new books. Say I want to add a new book. Let's say the book ID is 1030. So title is in Minecraft. Let's say for example, Steve. SBN is just a number. Genre is action. So there you go. Book has been added successfully. By the way, SBN is a specific number with a specific format that is within our information. So I don't think I would really want to touch more on that. You can search it out online on how to create the ISBN ID. So that's book management. So now let's go to user management. So as a librarian, you can view all the users available. As you can see here, books borrowed by Ahmad bin Ali 1. So you can also see the books borrowed, the ID, the email, and so on. And then if you want to register a new member, you can do it as well. Say I want to add myself with this ID, with this email. So now if the new member has been added, so let's view all users. As you can see here, my name is there. So now let's remove the member. If you want to remove a member, you can do it as well. So let's enter the ID that we added just now. Now the member has been removed successfully. As you can see here, when we view it, my name is not there anymore. So that's user management. So now let's proceed to the borrowing response and the file management. So to ease our simulation, since we cannot actually directly simulate and manipulate the date, since there's no way that we can simulate here directly, so we have our feature for our testing run, so which is number 14. So first of all, let's view all the borrowed books. As you can see here, these are all the borrowed books. It shows the book ID, the user ID, that the ones that borrowed the book. It also shows the past books that's been borrowed and been returned. So let's also see view overdue books. These are the books that the ones that have not been returned according to their due date. So let's see number 9. So right now there are no overdue books because we haven't manipulated any data, and as you can see here, return date still now and still within the due date as well. So you can also view the reservation queue. So as you can see here, Satan is queuing as the number 1 queue for the book Harry Potter and Philosopher, as the one holding the current book is the first user 2001. So to simulate our file management and so on, let's create testing data with this feature. So say that I want to use one of the books, say 1003. You can also put any books, because let's say I want to put a non-existent book, you can do it as well, because this is just a testing. So but for our purpose of this simulation, we use the existing books to make it more clearer. So let's use an existing member, let's say 2005. So now 2005 is a new member. If you can see, creating test member for the user for demonstration. So let's say the borrow date of the book was 2026. Let's say 32nd January. So the due date would be, say for example, and then return date. Say that he returned the book later than it should have been. So let's say the 4th. So now the fine that will be charged to the user, that the new user that we created, will be 250 cents. So this test record will appear in fine reports. So let's first calculate this number 11 feature. Calculate and update all fines will automatically calculate all the fines, which total up all the fines for each members and total up. So now let's go to view all member fines. As you can see here, the member ID with 005 this is in case of if the user is not readily available. This is just our testing. So as you can see here, test member 1105 test. So this all the testing data. So that the total fines will be 20.50 cents. So our charging is that 1 day of late return will be charged with 50 cents. So according to this one, the total fine will be 2 ringgit 50 cents, which tallies to how many days that the user lately returned. So you can also view specific member fines. So let's enter a user without fines. So this member has no outstanding fines. But if we want to enter the user with the fines, say 205, you can see here. There we go. So that's how our simulation works. So for the next part of this video, I will be presenting to you on how does our program tallies with the requirements for data handling and error handling. So let's first create few datas as members. So let's log in. So let's borrow some books and log out. Let's use a different member. So let's also try to borrow another book with this user. Say I want to borrow this book. Wait, sorry, so it's right. So let's say view of the books. Alright, so shut out. So to prove that we can handle data and save data, so let's try to exit system and let's try to rerun the code. So let's log in as member and so let's see view my borrowed books. So as you can see, the data is still there despite logging out of the system. So let's log out and prove it in the librarian manager interface. So view all borrowed books. As you can see, all the records are still here despite just now I have exited the system. So now let's also prove that our program tallies with the error handling. First, let's go to member. Let's see so let's log in as Ravi Kumar. Okay, so let's try to borrow a non-existent book. So let's say I entered some random ID. As you can see, book not found. So let's try to return books that were borrowed. So let's see view my borrowed books. I borrowed nothing with this user. So let's try to borrow a book that we have not borrowed at all. Wait, so sorry, I think I have choose the wrong option there. So let's try to return the books that were borrowed. So let's go to number 3. Yeah, there you go. So let's try to return a book that we didn't borrow with this user. So as you can see here, you did not borrow this book. So that tallies the error handling. So let's try to also to log out first and see whether we can detect invalid user or book IDs. So let's log in as member. Let's log in as some random ID. As you can see, user with ID is not found. So it goes back to the main menu. Let's go as member and let's enter user here. So let's say we want to search for books. So you can see here, these are all the IDs that are present. So let's try to borrow a let's also try to borrow a non-existent book. So let's say we enter some random ID. As you can see here, book not found. So it goes to show how have we tallied with all the requirements for the error and data handling. more on the data